Hello and welcome to the DJ Force 10 in Conversation podcast, episode 176. My very special guest on today's show is David from the band Soilwork. They're about to release a brand new EP on December 4th called A Whisp of the Atlantic. It is out on Nuclear Blast. Do check it out when it comes out. Check out the tracks they've released already. I think they've done a couple of lyric videos. But it is fantastic. I absolutely loved it. If you're a fan of Soilwork, you're going to love it. If you love epically long, like proggy tracks, they've got one on there that is just it's great. It's great to listen to. It just flows so well, and I just love it. But yeah, speaking of sort of like bigging stuff up, I'm going to bring you onto my show. What I would love from you guys, if you can, rate and review the show. I know I've been sort of saying this quite often recently, but I am really looking for them now. I really want to get this show kind of populating in the charts and stuff like the podcast charts and things like that if I can. And I know there's a few of you out there that are subscribing. I can see those statistics. But what I'm looking for are like 5-star reviews, thumbs up, hearts, whatever your platform of choice offers you to sort of recommend podcasts. Share it on your social media. Tag me in it. It's at DJ Force X on every platform. So tag me in it. Promote it if you can, or leave a rating and review. It doesn't cost anything to do any of these things. It's just a portion of your time, and I would really appreciate it. And not only would I appreciate it, all the bands that I interview or have interviewed will appreciate it as well, because what that does is when it pushes up that chart, it gets it into more people's ears, and that's kind of what I'm looking for. Well, no, it's exactly what I'm looking for, because I interview sort of like well-established bands. I also interview up-and-coming bands, but what I want to do is get that balance. So obviously I get promotion from the bigger bands when they post out on their socials, the whole thing goes mad, and for that few days. But with the smaller bands, it doesn't happen so much like that. It's more of a growth effect with them. But what I want to do is get up into those things. So when I release, say, a Lamb of God podcast, I'm going to leave that in. I ain't gonna edit that out. I'm going to stutter and everything. But when I do, like, for instance, the Lamb of God podcast, and then I do a Crossed Paths. So I've got a well-established in Lamb of God, and I've got Crossed Paths, who are a new band. What I want to do is get that sort of like level of interest, you know, on par, especially when it comes to sort of like chart position and stuff like that. So when I release something, it kind of pops up on there saying, new episode. So if you can, I would very, very much appreciate it. And if I catch it before I record a show, I will give you a shout out. But I will be monitoring the main platform. So YouTube, I'll be monitoring Apple Podcasts, Amazon, Spotify, all those places, all the main places. And if I get any notifications from the others, I will give you a shout on there as well. But please leave your name, leave a short sentence if you can. If not, just a rating. That would be absolutely awesome. Is the word I can only think of right now. But apart from that, I am still doing my Mixcloud subscription service as well. If you're interested in my DJ mixes, you can go to DJ Force X at, it's Mixcloud/DJ Force X. And you get like an exclusive couple of days on my radio show before it airs. You also get, you will be getting exclusive mixes and stuff like that. So yeah, it's just another sort of revenue stream that I'm looking into now that the clubs are going to be closed for longer than initially thought. But it was an income that I am missing. So this is kind of a way of making up for it. It does cost me to do this as well as it does to sort of ask you guys for money, but I put it at the lowest tier of $2.99. That's a per month fee. There's no sort of minimum contract or anything with that. It's subscribe, like with everything, subscribe for a month or not at all, whatever you want to do, or a whole year. That would be awesome. But yeah, that'll be on there. And if I think of any other bits to sort of give you guys, then I'll put it on there. But I am rambling on now, and I'm trying to keep these intros as short as possible. So without much further ado, I give you David from the band Soilwork. Enjoy. I'd like to welcome to the show today, I have David. He is the guitarist of the band Soilwork. Welcome, David.
Thank you.
How are you today?
I'm fine. I'm actually in the studio with my other band, the Nightlight Orchestra.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So, yeah.
No, that's really cool. I was actually going to ask about them as well, because I did a little bit of research beforehand, just a little bit. But we're here to talk about the forthcoming Soilwork EP. It is called A Whisp of the Atlantic. It's like I said before I hit record. It's really good. I don't know what I was kind of expecting from it. I kind of saw the length of the first track, if you will. And I was kind of like, oh, that kind of, it really intrigued me. I love long sort of like, I love proggy stuff as well. So, you know, and I've got to say, I don't want to give too much away because obviously no one's heard this epic, if you will, but it's really fucking good.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
no, I was pleasantly surprised about it because sometimes you can get these long tracks, and from a band that aren't kind of known for your long tracks. I mean, I've been a fan of Soilwork since I think it was about the third album. A Predator's Portrait, which was back in I think 2000 and something, and sort of like progressed from there. And you guys have always been kind of like on the sort of like bigger sort of like epic metal, hardcore side of things. And that first track totally blew me away. I mean, the instrumentation on it is amazing. The kind of like just the amount of what's going on as well. Can you tell me a bit about like what was your inspiration behind that song? You know, because it totally like kind of it took me by surprise. That was all.
I guess the inspiration. I mean, I wrote the song. I've written all the songs on the EP.
Yeah,
both like music and lyrics, and I guess the inspiration for that song was probably. Every song I've ever heard.
Yeah.
No, it's more like I've always envisioned like Soilwork doing something really out there, and with this lineup that we have now, we're pretty much able to play any kind of music, which is really a great position to be in, and I felt it would be such a waste not to just use that position and just being able to explore all kinds of music. And it's also like getting older. To me, I don't really think about genres anymore. I just think about music as music. I mean, if it's a good song, it's a good song, and also I think Soilwork is people. I mean, we've been trying for quite some time to do interesting stuff, and I think we still people tend to like. Underestimate us as a band, because we really try to do something special and really try to evolve and develop as a band and do stuff with a bit of a twist to it. And I've been thinking about doing this epic track for like probably ever since I became a member of the band back in 2012. I've always had this vision that one day we're going to do this huge epic thing. Yeah.
No, I mean this is just the opening track, and it's epic. You know, you've got all kinds of like obviously you've got your sort of like, you know, your drums, your bass, your guitar, but there's also piano in there. There's horns. There's just like these just little subtle bits here and there that just kind of like. It just really brings it together as one big sort of like epic journey, I think is.
No, thank you. I was a bit scared that it would be too much, that people might be a bit like I don't know, turned off, or just it might be a bit too much for some people. But hopefully, people will react the way you've done. It's like just a big chunk of music, and hopefully people will like it.
Yeah, no, definitely. And not to sort of take it away from the rest of the EP as well. I mean, you just released a track from it. Actually, there's two tracks available out there, isn't there? There's The Nothingness and The Devil. and Death Diviner. You released that as a single as well, didn't you? And that's on there.
But it was a while ago.
Yeah.
We released all the tracks on the EP have been released as singles and with videos too. And it's like the videos do have this common theme. So if you if you start with Feverish and just continue watching the videos, you have this common theme going through all the songs, and it's going to culminate with A Wisp of the Atlantic eventually.
I'll say, have you got a video plan for that?
Oh yes.
Oh, good. That's good. I like that. That's a full-on project. That's amazing. So, like with this, I mean, it's not due out till December, and you're out on I think it's December 4th on Nuclear Blast, and I mean, you're sort of at the beginning of the promo trail, I suppose, on that front. But what's the sort of what's the reaction been from the track you just released, the Nothingness and the Devil?
I'm not really sure. It's since it was released this Friday, and we entered the studio this Friday, so I've been a bit detached from the world, I guess, recording nightlife songs, but so I have no idea, really. Okay.
Yeah, no worries. I was like I said, I was going to ask about Night Flight, and obviously, like you say, you've just gone back into the studio. So, what are you sort of doing with that at the moment? Is it? Have you got an album on the way, or is it just sort of demoing tracks or anything?
No, we never. I mean, we don't do any pre-production stuff. Okay. We just press record and
I like that.
Have a go at it. So we're in the final stages of the next album. We have lots of songs and it sounds good, I think. Yeah. No,
I look forward to it. I mean, I really enjoyed it was Amber Galactic. And Internal Affairs, actually, that was a good one, the first one. But yeah, no, I've enjoyed that as well. Like I said, I was going to ask you about that because it was like I didn't realise it was the same person, for one. But I can see the links now between the two bands and stuff like that. So that's really cool. I mean, what sort of do you have any sort of like a planned like when that's due to come out, or are you waiting for obviously the Soilwork EP to come out, and then I know you've got some dates lined up for next year, tentatively, as most of the world does. I know Sweden have been relatively relaxed on sort of closing stuff down and stuff, so I don't know if you guys have had a chance to play so much since like this whole pandemic stuff.
I mean, we do have restrictions as well, so no sweaty rock clubs. We still have to keep our distance, so I don't know. I mean, we have a few things planned for like touring, but I don't know if it's going to happen. I mean, the way things are progressing in Europe and in Sweden as well. I mean, we don't really have a second wave, but we have an increase in cases. Yes. But I mean, we're still happy to be able to record stuff and release stuff, and I guess it's not like we're Metallica, so I mean, if we have an album ready, we're just gonna release it, because it's not like we have a $1 billion tour coming up, and we have to time it with that, so we're just gonna release stuff. We're gonna do we're going to release an album with Night Flight sometime during the first half of next year, and hopefully we'll have a new album by Soilwork during the second half of next year. Okay. So we have we booked some sessions, and we have quite a few shows booked, but I don't think they're going to happen, honestly.
Yeah, no, I've had obviously I've had a bunch of musicians on the show, but specifically Sweden. I had Snowy Shaw on the show recently, He was saying the same thing because he was releasing a book and stuff, but he's been like, stuck, can't play anywhere. But he's kind of adapted and done stuff at home and in his studio and whatnot. And Thunder Mother as well, another one, but they seem to be out on tour. So
yeah, I mean, like in Sweden, we were allowed to play to 50 people.
Okay,
and now they've increased it to like a couple of hundred, but then you have to keep your distance. And how are you going to keep a safe distance in a rock club?
Yeah, no, that's
it has to be to a seated audience.
Yeah,
and I don't see how we can make any money from doing that, because I mean, I play guitar because I love music, but at the same time it's a bit hard just doing a show for 50 people.
Yeah
Just you don't even get the money for gas just getting there.
No, that's very true.
No.
It'd be like starting all over again, when you just play gigs somewhere for very little money and you pack into a tiny car.
And we actually, I mean, we're not divas but we do like to have a crew and sound person and everything. So
yes, yeah. No, you need those.
Just a wee bit of a budget.
Yes, yeah. No, definitely. No, that's something. As a band grows, obviously, you guys have been around for a long time, so you kind of know you need that side of things. But yeah, as a band grows, they need to get a crew because at some point you need to relinquish some responsibility for certain things, or sometimes it's not good to trust the in-house sound guy because you don't know how experienced they are. But no, I was just wondering, like, over this, like, it's one of those topics that you can't really avoid, but the sort of COVID, like, shutdown and all that kind of stuff. And obviously you guys produced this EP. Was this produced, like, during this time, or was it something you did before it?
It sort of, like, evolved very organically because I came up with the idea of perhaps we should release a single every now and then, and so I wrote like Feverish, the first single, and then I just kept on writing, and because I mean it sounds really dull, but I mean these days you have to keep up your online presence.
Yes, yeah.
You can't just release an album and just
disappear.
No. And I think that's, I mean, I like the way that these days the whole thing, it doesn't really work that way anymore, and it's kind of liberating to be able to release stuff and not having to make an album out of it. But I mean, for the EP, I just started writing a couple of songs and we recorded them, and I came up with the epic, and we talked to Nuclear Blast, and they were like, okay, let's do a physical release of what you've done. And it's nice.
That's good. I mean, having
but it's not like we have. I didn't have any like master plan, but gradually I found this common theme throughout the songs, so it's going to be. I've written a really pretentious press release.
Yeah, I saw that.
So. Yeah, sorry.
No. It does. It fits. It kind of fits what you were doing, but I took it tongue in cheek because I kind of, it's like
it's all a bit tongue in cheek. I mean, we're always really serious about music, but at the same time, I mean, it's nice to be a bit pretentious and over the top.
Oh, totally.
And,
yeah, you need to flex
we
that
never
arm, don't you?
Yeah. I usually say that we always take the music very seriously, but we never take ourselves seriously.
Yeah. No, definitely. I mean, you've got to, like, at some point when you flex that more artistic arm, you know, you've got to add that level to it, because there's got to be some kind of like reason to it. And if it can just automatically sound pretentious, no matter how you write it. You could have written
people. I mean, I think it's nice being pretentious and a bit over the top, because these days people excuse themselves too much. I mean. And it's nice. I mean, if the kind of music I listen to, I listen to all kinds of music, but I always appreciate when an artist has some sort of like concept or an idea.
Yeah.
It might be crap or a tad pretentious or whatever, but not just like, oh, here's a new song that we just did.
Yes, just threw it together. It's fine.
I really like the whole. I want people to have ambitions and dreams and overarching themes.
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, a lot of musicians don't get that opportunity either, because they're either stuck with a commercial like centered label, if you will, or you know, whatever they're driven by, and they don't have that chance to really flex that artistic muscle. That's what I was about to say before with Nuclear Blast, just going, let's just put it out as a physical release, you know, and they're a label that kind of that will like help a band in that way, because they put out a lot of music generally, and it's just good for them to like just sort of go, let's do it. Rather than just sort of, could you change that? Could you make that a single? Could you, you know, like I've had that in my sort of like musical career, where I've had like people come into that creative space and try and change things. But you know, it's like every now and then, like just to have a concept, even like you say, even if it's crap, but to the person making it, it's something they want to get out, you know. And yeah, with you guys, I didn't take it in any sort of like, you know, it's an epic song, that the title track, and it's just got everything in it, because like at first I'm like, wow, you know, it's 16 minutes 30 seconds, I think it is long, and I was just like, oh wow, you know, like what's this about, first of all, and then listening to it, and it's just one like journey of music, which is really cool. I really enjoyed it, and I hope everyone else does as well, to be honest, and I think they will. Obviously I'm not everyone, but it's a departure from, you know.
I just want people to appreciate that we're really making an effort to do something interesting.
Yeah.
So even if people think that we're pretentious, and but I think that I mean we're Swedes. We're not Donald Trump. We're Swedes. Well, yeah. Swedes are always our own worst criticists. So yeah, just take it for what it is, and just hope you'll enjoy it.
Yeah, no, I'm sure people will. I really did. It's unfortunately it's not so, because I DJ rock clubs, or when we were open. And it's not, I mean, I've played epic tracks before, so I'm going to try and play that, because I do sometimes get the kind of like warm-up slots and stuff, but yeah, I'm going to try and play that, a nice long track. Normally I get away with that.
Lovely.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. I'll let you know. Yeah. I'll let you know. I know I'm limited on time with you, because I know I've got a couple of minutes left with you, I think, haven't I? I think I've got a half an hour slot.
Yeah, you have 10 minutes left.
10 minutes? Oh, wow, okay. Yeah. Well, let's go on to my sort of like, my final questions, if you will. Yeah. So what I want to find out, this is the kind of questions I ask everyone that come on the show, so these are my like typical finishers, but what I want to find out are your three, like if you could pinpoint 3 albums that were pivotal, or the ones that, you know, the ones that kind of made you want to pick up an instrument, like when you were a kid, you heard this album and go, I want to play the guitar, or I want to play, you know, whatever other instrument you want to play. What 3 albums could you pinpoint throughout your career that kind of really represent you as a musician?
Can I pick 4?
Yeah.
Okay, so that would be Teaser by Tommy Bolin.
Nice.
Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath by Black Sabbath.
Yeah.
In Rock by Deep Purple, and Visions of the Emerald Beyond by My Vishnu Orchestra.
Nice. You rattled them off so quickly. Well, there's a couple there I want to check out, because obviously I know Sabbath, I know Deep Purple, just obviously being from the land of Sabbath. On that front.
Where are you from? From where in Britain are you from?
I'm I'm south of London by about 30 miles. I'm in a town called Camberley. It's about 30 miles outside of London.
Okay, so isn't like Dorset? No, Surrey. I'm trying to think what places are capital bits of it that are near. I'm kind of between London and the south coast. So literally sort of the halfway point between there and the coast. So it's kind of like a middle ground. But yeah, if I go an hour in one direction, I'm at the seafront. If I go 45 minutes, half an hour in another direction, I'm in London. Okay.
So, just sort of like directly south of London. Dorset's to the west.
Yeah.
My geography is right. Yeah, my geography is right. So I was like, but yeah, no, that's where I'm generally from. I lived in the States for a bit as well. So, I've had the taste of, the American lifestyle, and, left 2017, I think it was. So, yeah, that was fun. But no, I'm definitely going to check out, was it Teaser by Tommy
Bolin.
Bolin, that was it, B-O-L.
Yeah. You know who is? Like, he played on Countess Band, Deep Purple's final album back in the 70s.
Yep.
And he also played, on Stratus by Bill Cobham, like a fusion epic thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he died, 76, something.
Yeah.
He just overdosed, the way it goes.
Yes. A lot of
We're
musicians.
all living on borrowed time.
We are indeed. Yeah. Tomorrow isn't ever guaranteed. So, but no, I'll definitely check that out. And what was it? It was Visions of
the Emerald Beyond by My Vishnu Orchestra.
Cool. I'm going to check that out as well. I'm just writing it down, so that's what I'm starting in there.
And it has Narada Michael Walden playing drums.
Okay.
And John McLaughlin on the guitar, and all sorts of good stuff.
Nice. No, I'm definitely going to check those out. I'm going to add them to my playlist, so that's all good. Cool, thank you for those. And finally, what are your hobbies away from music? So when you're not recording for Night Flight or Soilwork or writing for them, what do you kind of do?
I work as a doctor.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, I'm a gastroenterologist. I'm MD, PhD.
Wow.
So I do endoscopies, and I treat patients with liver diseases and intestinal diseases like IBD, Crohn's disease, and ulcerative colitis, and liver cirrhosis, and what have you.
How do you balance that with being a musician? Because obviously that must be quite full on, time wise.
It's a constant struggle, but at the same time, I'm a bit restless as a person, so I probably I need to be not entertained, but I like to stay busy. I'm like a shark. I need to keep swimming, otherwise I just drown.
Yeah, no, that's full on. That must be, because I mean, when I was in a band many years ago, I was in a band in the UK, and when we were starting out, I was juggling, I think it was 3 jobs, and the band sort of started to get some traction, and I managed at the time to sort of keep those 3 jobs going. But yeah, no, having something like that, I mean, my jobs weren't as intense as being a doctor. On that front, but I was just like, where you find, but I had the same thing where I didn't like to be kind of like doing nothing at that point. So, like you say, very restless, very kind of like, I've got to be doing something. So the music kind of happened when I wasn't doing those other 3 things to sort of pay for that sort of life to to go out and tour and stuff like that. So, yeah. Cool. Well, David, I'm going to let you go because we're almost at time. So, but I want to say thank you. I absolutely appreciate your time with me today, and good luck with the EP. Like I said, I really enjoyed it, and I'm going to listen to it again after this. And
that's great.
No, it's awesome. Thank you very much, man. You have a fantastic rest of your day, and good luck with the recording for Night Flight and everything as well.
Yes, thank you.
Cool. Thank you, man. Have a good one. All right.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.